Howdy fun, welcome to Ask Pocket. Ask Pocket, of course, is what happens when you take a pocket and you put it in a cupboard and then you do some stuff on a computer and out walks a full-grown pocket in a midriff shirt. If you haven't seen Weird Science, that won't make any sense to you, but don't watch that movie because it doesn't hold up. Our first question comes in from Lucreus. I hope I'm saying your name right. Lucreus? Lucrarius. Don't watch Weird Science. What game franchise do you wish you'd gotten into or understood but hadn't gotten the chance to? Lucreus, Lucarius, whatever your name is, this question could not have come in at a better time. I've gone on record as saying I really wanted to get into EVE Online, and for a long time I was that person who just looked at the Dark Souls series from the outside, saying to myself, that looks stupid, but secretly inside I yearn to be part of that weird, twisted little community. Yes! You! Oh my god! And it's not like I've played all of the Dark Souls games or even finished the third one, but the point is I now understand the appeal. But the reason this question is so perfectly timed is because last night I played Madden NFL 17, much to the horror of Nick from 2 days ago. My first ever Madden, and I played it for 5 hours until 1 o'clock in the morning. And sports games in general are always something that have eluded me, but I kind of get the appeal of Madden now because it's almost entirely just a strategy game. And it's not like I'm someone who says that I wish that I love sports games, but I see these games get released every year with these tiny little changes, and there's something about that that really appeals to me. I love when games that I love get updated with little things that I can get really excited about and everyone else doesn't understand. So now I feel like I'm part of that community because I've played 5 hours of a video game. So now, if I keep playing, I can get excited when Madden NFL 18 brings in revamped 7th down game plans. Or whatever. I still don't really understand the sport. To be clear, it's been 5 hours. Moving on, and our next question comes in from H. Shoebridge, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. It's not H.S. Hobridge. It's not H. Show Ebridge. All of these are good names. What sort of shitty music do you like listening to? Hey Shu, look, I don't really know how to answer your question because in fact none of the music I listen to is shitty. It's all excellent, and in fact I would propose that you are the listener of the shitty music. But I guess shitty music is in the eye of the beholder, or the ear of the listener. I listen to a lot of indie and alternative music, but I guess the music that you might think of as shitty and that I think of as the greatest music of all time that got me through my teens would be the stuff I listened to when I was kind of 18, 19 years old. So we're talking My Chemical Romance, Shu. In fact, I would say they are probably still my favorite band now, because I've never been more emotionally connected to music than back in my heavy emo days. So Mike Hamm, Taking Back Sunday, The Used, Jimmy Eat World, Matchbook Romance, these guys were what got me through the ages of about 17 to 26. I also really love country pop. Not all of it, but I am prone to love a Taylor Swift song more than I would have expected, or actually even want to. Our next question comes in from Josh McEneaney. McEneaney? What is with you people? Do you need a game to have a solid narrative to enjoy it? Seeing your thoughts on No Man's Sky made me curious. I need a good story. Joshua, we've been talking so much around the office about No Man's Sky. And what some people think are the game's biggest shortcomings, others think are its biggest strengths. So I've been thinking a lot about why the game doesn't work for me, and a lot of that has to do with the lack of a decent narrative. Because I agree with you, story is something I really value in games, but I don't think it's required for all of them. I guess for me to enjoy a game, it needs to have one of three things. 1, an interesting narrative. 2, it's doing something unique mechanically. Or 3, it has a competitive element and I can improve my skill in that game. The best games for me have all 3, but as long as it excels in one, I'll generally have a good time with it. No Man's Sky was certainly doing interesting things gameplay-wise with the exploration and planet generation, but it was just so shallow to me that it didn't hold my attention. Let's take a look at our disappointment. Oh, good. And a perfect ending. I've also found myself not being drawn to those big video games anymore. Something like Deus Ex. I really enjoyed Human Revolution, but when I played the new Deus Ex, it's just such a video game. The story isn't amazing, the game plays like a greatest hits of all video games, and I don't even get better at it, I just get further through it. But yeah, I will always value a game that has an amazing story. Even if it's a genre I don't normally like, I'll probably give it a go. Like, I'm going to play the new FIFA, and that's almost solely because of that new story mode. get to hit someone with a chair when I lose a game. All right, our next question comes in from Noel Barrett _3D. What's it like reviewing and rating a game instead of just playing it for a bit and then giving your initial thoughts? No, it's longer. But it's interesting because the more I play something, the more my opinion develops, obviously. But I need to be careful not to shut myself off from that experience. I guess it's because on Pocket, when I do these first plays, I just need to make snap decisions. What is interesting here? What is the game trying to do? How does it succeed? What is grabbing me to keep me playing? I've become good at taking a game on the terms it presents and quite quickly processing how I feel about it. But now, for the next few weeks, I'm taking those games that I've started to play on Pocket and I'm finishing them. And I think because I've already verbalized so much about the first hour or so, then I need to be careful to keep an open mind for the rest of it. Because otherwise, I go into forming my review having already made my mind up about what I intend to think about the game based on my first impression, and that's just not a good way to work. The obvious one is No Man's Sky, because I loved the first hour, but then if you watch the review, I end up being really disappointed. But I do think it's easy to go from loving something to not liking it. It's harder to decide you hate something and then realize it's actually quite amazing, like I did with Metal Gear Solid 5. Still a shitty story though, Josh knows what I'm talking about. Our final question comes in from Ruben Beats. Roughly how much money does your work provide? I want to go into film and television or the games industry within the next few years, and I would like to know if it's enough to live off. The chutzpah on this kid. It's somewhere between $1 and enough to keep me in a healthy supply of cardigans. All right, that's it for today's Ask Pocket. More Pocketeers! Let me know in the comments if you have a healthy supply of cardigans, and let Ruben know what you do for a living so he has some options. Until you next have asks and I have pockets, Nick Boy out. Seriously, I have like 12 cardigans. Are you jealous, Ruben? 12. The console release will launch under the name Dear Esther Landmark Edition, as it features updated graphics. And this must be wrong, they list gameplay updates, so maybe they've added some.